all that back. So as announced from the floor, this is the conference committee for Senate Bills 2338, 2623, 2620, and 2341, along with 2321. Just a little bit of background. So we will call up the conference reports individually. The conferees are here. The House has been notified that we were having this conference committee. They were informed by myself. Also, Ms. Pat, our secretary, how dare I say that? Our assistant, let their assistant know. The report to us was that they were not going to show up. I will note under joint rule 23, conference committee, and I'm going to quote here, conference committee shall meet as soon as practicable and proceed to confer on the differences between the two houses seeking to resolve such differences. So at about 3 p.m. today, or probably about 1:30 or 2 p.m. today, the bills that are subject of this conference committee were signed by the Senate and sent over to the House. We received them back, refusing to be signed by the House conferees. This is after discussion occurred, initial discussion between myself and Chairwoman Cockerham. And I'll call up the ones individually. These bills, in short, simply had the reverse repealer removed in the conference report. There were no, unless specifically noted, there were, the reverse repealer was simply taken out and there were no amendments made by the House. I will also note, I wanted to let the committee know that Joint Rule 24 states that only matters in disagreement between the two houses are subject to consideration by conference committee. So to my point, that in a number of these conference reports, the only disagreement is the reverse repealer. That was taken out. And so that's all that's up for discussion during the conference committee, and the reports reflect that. All right, so I'm calling up first Senate Bill 23. Let me go to this one. Oh, yeah. Senate Bill 2321, human trafficking, create cause of action for engaging in or benefiting from. The conferees, Senate conferees are myself, Senator McConnell, Senator Parker. The conference report is that the Senate concur in the House amendment. So the Senate is accepting the House amendment. And on line 486, we are repealing or taking away the reverse repealer. So in this case, the Senate has accepted their language and we're taking out the reverse repealer. In conference report, Senate Bill 2321, all the conferees have signed that bill. Any questions on that one? All right, I will call up Senate Bill 2620. Conferees are myself, Senator Boyd, Senator England. The conference report states that the House shall recede from amendment number 1. Amendment number 1 was the reverse repealer. All the conferees the Senate have signed it. Again, it's been sent to the House. They've refused to sign. Any questions on that one? No? Okay, I will go to Senate Bill 2338, Judiciary DHS fraud investigation as noted on the Senate floor. This is a bill that was requested by State Auditor Shad White, who is looking, rightfully so as his job, at the investigation of DHS and had requested this. It's made it all the way through Senate, and that was that the House received from its amendment number one. Amendment number one was the reverse repealer placed in the bill by the House. All the Senate conferees have signed it. It was submitted to the House and they refused to sign. I call up Senate Bill 2341, child support. This is a bill that was requested by DHS. No, I apologize. That was not requested by DHS. No, I'm sorry. This was from the task force. If you recall that we had the Judiciary task force, and this was one of the recommendations that they came forward on, that said that the age of majority for a disabled special needs child should continue or should be addressed. Again, the report is that the House received from its amendment number one. The amendment number one from the House was the reverse repealer. It's been signed by all the senators, conferees, produced to the House. They're choosing not to sign. And I'm sorry, Senator Parker, but I know you've worked hard on that for these children. And once again, we're the state, the only state or one of the few states to have that. All right, next I call up Senate Bill 2623, involuntary civil commitments. The conferees are Senator Boyd and Senator Simmons. Now, this one, the report is that the House received from its amendment, and that adopt the amendment. And in short, the amendment in the conference report is that, and a little bit of background is to be had here. In your civil commitments, there's a pre-hearing and a post-hearing. And pre-hearing throughout the state, they end up being mental folks end up being held in jail. And so what this bill or the language in the conference report is doing is says that the counties can contract with a mental health facility to allow them to be held in those facilities within the time period before they come to the hearing before what we call the lunacy judge. Then the amendment also states that upon a finding of the lunacy judge that the person is in need of treatment, that they will be held in the facility and paid for by the county. And this is all applying to indigent citizens. And the amount that is charged to the county can be no more than the Medicaid rate. We explained that on the Senate floor. This made it through two different committees. So what this bill was attempting to do was to address it, or address our mental health issue. And I will note that the Justice Department has a number of investigations going on. One of them is into our mental health situation. And so this would have helped that as well. And that too, that report has been signed by myself and Senator Simmons. Senator Boyd, do you have any questions on that? Would you like to sign that? Thank you. Okay, so any questions on Senate Bill 2623? No? All right. Yes. Yes, that bill. All Senate conferees have signed that, and everything, the ones that I've called up, they've all been signed by Senate conferees. Okay. Yeah, Senator Parker.
If we could, I think you and I have been here about the same amount of time, and I'm trying to, I guess, get some understanding of this here. So we signed the conference reports, they were sent over, they were returned. And, I've certainly in my time being here, we've had a conference report go over, be returned. And then I got with the chairman and, there was certainly some issue. Could you give us some insight into kind of procedurally what happened since all of these came back at one time? And have you experienced something like this before?
One, I've never experienced anything like this before. Number two, your question is good about procedurally. So joint rule number 26 reads, in the event of the failure of either house to adopt the conference report or to concur in amendments, the bill or resolution under such consideration shall be lost. So procedurally, what that means is that the House, should they choose not to sign these reports, these bills are dead. That's what that means. And I will procedurally, on the advice of counsel, it was stated to me that it's based on the deadlines. And so the deadline is Monday. So honestly, I think the House has until Monday to sign these reports. The reports will be held, Miss Pat, our assistant, where anybody the conferees can come have them. And if we need to have another meeting, we can do that, but I do not plan to call another meeting. So the Senate has done its work. Does that answer your question?
To some degree, and there was not notification back from the House that they have expressed a desire not to sign any conference reports across the board. You're just aware of this in your correspondence with your committee chairman at this time. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the committee chairs and myself and Representative Cockham have been negotiating in good faith. We've had the discussions. The conference reports that are here that have the reverse repealers removed, it was discussed and agreed that that's what the report would be, because quite honestly, it's fairly simple. And so at 3 o'clock today, that was the first I heard that they weren't signing the reports. Does that answer the question? So I'm only speaking for Judiciary A because that's the committee that this is, but that's what's happening in Judiciary A. And there are other bills that are before, or conference reports that are out there. So we're waiting to see what happens on those.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let's see. So those will be held by Pat. Good, congratulations, Pat. But the conferees can come and sign those. Let me say this. The reason, and I know it gets lost about a reverse repealer, but the effect of the reverse repealer is if you pass the bill with the reverse repealer, it automatically doesn't become law. So if the bill is to become law, you have to remove the reverse repealer. So that's why the conference reports have had the reverse repealer removed. And the House, in the selected bills, the House didn't add any other amendments. So that's where we are. So does anybody have any questions on that? So I think these senators, for the hard work that they've done, I think we've been moving forward in good faith, and I appreciate the hard work. And as we said here today, the Senate conferees on these bills have done the work and signed the bills to get them done. And I'll reiterate joint rule number 23, conference committees shall meet as soon as practicable and proceed to confer. Committee conferees have been named, reports have been done, and we're here to get those done. So any questions? All right, thank y'all very much. I guess, do we rise and report? Rise and report. Thank you, appreciate y'all, thanks.